CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with a highway closure east of Sarnia. Crews are repairing part of the 402 after it buckled under the intense heat yesterday. And as Brian Bicknell reports, this happened twice just last summer.
Repair work continues on Highway 402 in Plimpton, Wyoming. All westbound lanes remain closed at Reese's Corners after extreme heat caused the pavement to buckle. This U.S.-based engineer is traveling through Ontario and past the work site.
Back in New York, it happens all the time. It starts out as a speed bump, and then it becomes a very impactful situation for traffic.
How dangerous can that be?
Oh, very dangerous. If you're going 70 miles an hour and you hit a speed bump, that will definitely shift your gear and throw you off your game, for sure.
Around 5 o'clock Wednesday, Lambton OPP closed all westbound lanes of the highway between Oil Heritage Road and Mendaman Road because of what it described as hazardous road conditions. Traffic is being detoured onto London Line. It's the second year in a row that this has happened. Last June, on this very same stretch of Highway 402, the road buckled and expanded under extreme heat. And the very next month, the same thing happened on the 402 on the eastbound side. Lambton County Warden Kevin Marriott says the closure impacts emergency services and puts undue stress on smaller county roads.
Our roads can't handle that heavy of a traffic as it is, so it can create a lot of damage on our roads when we have an event like this. There just isn't road dollars that there used to be for municipalities.
According to Environment Canada, the temperature Wednesday was 34 degrees Celsius.
Only so much force the asphalt can resist. Eventually, it's just going to pop up.
The chief engineer at Western University's Institute for Catastrophic Loss Reduction says we can expect more events like this as climate change affects infrastructure.
There is no bad guy. There's no incompetence here. This is just the consequence of global warming. There's no better material. There's no magical solution to this. We can just expect stuff like this to happen. And if we don't want stuff like this to happen, then we have to accelerate our efforts to reach net zero, eliminate our greenhouse gas emissions.
In the meantime, the OPP says there is no estimated reopening time. Brian Bicknell, CTV News, Sarnia, Lambton.
A long-term care home in Aylmer is operating with limited air conditioning right now, affecting roughly 100 residents, with some room temperatures approaching 30 degrees. Visitors told CTV News this morning the facility felt uncomfortably hot. The Elgin County Warden tells CTV News contractors are working on the situation, but they're waiting for parts and there's no timeline for delivery. The main chiller unit was purchased just last year. The warden says secondary AC units are operating with cooling stations set up in common areas, and there are no plans to temporarily move any residents to other facilities.
We're confident that between the temperatures cooling off, the parts arriving, and us being able to maintain everybody reasonably comfortable, most importantly safe, we're comfortable we'll be able to manage without more disruption.
Gateway Casino has officially opened its newly renovated Cascades London today.
We are extremely pleased to launch our very first Pro Line Plus Sportsbook Lounge here at Cascades London.
Officials say the project took 27 months and $50 million, transforming the casino at the Western Fair District. They also say more than 80 additional jobs have been created. The mayor says the modernized facility builds on other recent recreation and entertainment investments in East London.
This is really becoming an entertainment district in our city, and I think we can start to think about whether we want to brand it that way. It's definitely a benefit to Old East Village, but more so, it's becoming an iconic place for people to come and be entertained in our city.
London Transit will be free all day Saturday so fans can get to World Cup viewing parties. The mayor says that's been made possible thanks to donations from London Hydro, the City of London, and Tourism London. It's meant to provide safe and convenient travel for fans attending watch parties around the city. One of those will be the Pack the Park event downtown.
It couldn't have aligned better because Saturday is FIFA Day in London and Canada is playing Morocco. So it'll be a series of exciting events followed by a public viewing of the game right in Victoria Park.
Award-winning novelist and screenwriter Emma Donoghue will be honored this fall at the Forest City Film Festival. Donoghue is a London resident. She was nominated for an Academy Award in 2016 for Best Adapted Screenplay, the movie Room. The Forest City Film Festival will recognize her with the 2026 Impact Award, expected to be presented during the festival gala held at Goodwill Industries on October 15th. Officials at City Hall have named the first ever recipient of the Order of London. It's meant to recognize current or former longtime residents demonstrating exceptional community achievement. With more on the award's inaugural selection, here's Brent Lale.
Wayne's legacy belongs in the story of London. Today, we are making sure that it always will.
Holding back tears, London philanthropist Wayne Dunn has been named the inaugural recipient of the Order of London.
I'm so honored. There's no question about it. I'm thankful, but I'm so surprised.
As part of the city's bicentennial celebrations, London has created this recognition, and it was presented during the Canada Day celebrations.
Wayne Dunn has contributed to the city in so many different ways, whether it's leadership in business or philanthropy, or even in the face of tragedy with the death of his daughter, starting a run and raising $1.6 million for cancer research. He's just contributed in the city in so many ways. The Business Cares food drive, just such a role model for our community.
Dunn has his hand in so many causes. He founded the Sunshine Foundation Golf Tournament, which has raised over $1.3 million for children with disabilities. He started the Done with Cancer fundraising run and spearheaded the London Cares Business Food Drive, which has been a savior for the London Food Bank.
They bring in, about £1 million worth of food during that year, and it makes a huge difference to us. And but Wayne, it's just something about the characteristics of the man. And so I think he's put his fingerprint on what the needs are in London, and he's put his identity on how he believes it should be met, and the two came together.
He's been on every board you can imagine. He's received the Governor General's Award for volunteerism. Not much he hasn't done. I can't think of a Londoner that's done more for more people for more often than Wayne Dunn. It's in the millions and millions of dollars. And he does it with no thanks, doesn't want any thanks.
A humble man, even on his day, Dunn wants to give the credit to everyone around him.
I've had an army of people, whatever committee or whatever, somebody outside a grocery store actually helping me or whatever too, but it's all of the people around me that have really got to where I am right now.
Brent Lale, CTV News.
The federal government will begin issuing the renamed Grocery and Essentials benefit tomorrow, meant to ease the strain for households dealing with rising costs. As Maria Saru reports, some provinces like Prince Edward Island are creating their own additional supports.
The shopping is done, but for many families, the math doesn't end at the checkout, and the price of a few bags can add up fast.
Outrageously high. Both my husband and I have to work to be able to eat and pay our bills.
The food bill is just one cost putting pressure on households across PEI.
It's not just the groceries, it's the fuel price, electricity.
To ease some of that strain, the provincial government will soon start sending out its new Island Essentials benefit. 95,000 individuals and couples qualify, and the majority will get their first payment Friday. The total annual benefit ranges between $175 to $365, depending on income and family status.
We're responding directly to what we hear from Prince Edward Islanders in every community across this province. This is an issue across the country as costs continue to rise.
Islanders 19 and older who file their taxes and live in the province will get the benefit through the CRA.
It's that simple, it's that accessible by design.
Ottawa is also launching its renamed Canada Groceries and Essentials benefit, a federal program to help offset rising costs. For some Islanders, that support could stack.
Depending on how much you get, it's hard to make a little bit go a long way these days, but I think anything would be helpful for sure.
In PEI, the timing of the benefit depends on how much someone qualifies for. For Islanders who don't see the provincial payment tomorrow, more are expected to roll out in October and November. And at grocery stores like this one, that money might make a difference. Maria Saru, CTV News, Charlottetown.
New generic versions of diabetes and weight loss drugs like Ozempic are coming onto the Canadian market. However, there may not be a flood of patients looking for them if the cost of the brand name options comes down. With more, here's Pauline Chan.
Richard Hall has type 2 diabetes and began taking Ozempic 2.5 years ago for glucose stability.
Immediately, there was a change in my readings, my glucose readings.
It is truly a profound effect that you see in some. There are averages that you expect, somewhere between 10 and 15% on average body weight loss.
But it's not just a benefit in weight loss that doctors are noting.
Since its launch, it's been my pleasure to see benefits for the heart, benefits for the kidney, new benefits for the liver. And so that means that, yes, we're managing diabetes, we're managing weight.
But the cost, covered under Hall's wife's benefits, have been prohibitive for some in the past.
Somewhere between about $250 and $350 per month. But the price of both the brand name Ozempic and the generics is now about $80 per month. Since the generics were priced that way, and Novo Nordisk, through its support program, is now matching it for the first time that I've seen any product do that.
Which means that if the price for the brand name drug is now the same as the generic prices, there may be no need for patients like Hall to consider taking generics. And Dr. Alex Abitbol says some private insurance may not have added the generic semaglutides to their formularies yet, prompting even slower adoption of generics. Ozempic maker Novo Nordisk has set up a webpage for Canadians to register for the savings card.
I don't know what the ODB situation will be in a year and a half when I turn 65. I haven't looked that far to see if it is covered.
And Dr. Abitbol says there are even more potent semaglutides on the horizon.
You should talk to your family physician, go through the benefits, the risks, make sure you carefully consider your own individual scenario.
Pauline Chan, CTV News.
John Tory Jr., the son of former Toronto Mayor John Tory, is planning to run for the federal Liberals. In addition to his time as mayor, John Tory Sr. was also a one-time leader of the Ontario Progressive Conservatives. Siobhan Morris has more on his son's decision to eschew the family politics.
This is one of 6 Canadian ridings where there will be federal by-elections at some point this year. John Tory Jr. announced on News Talk 1010 this morning he wants to be on the ballot here in Beaches, East York as a Liberal, putting his hand up for the nomination.
I just want to join a team that's making a positive difference.
Tory Jr. is an executive for a small charter airline. He's worked on other campaigns, but this is the first time he's taking a run at political office himself.
I bring dedication. I bring showing up and engaging with people. I bring an ability to listen and to work hard as a team player and to be a strong advocate on issues that are important to our constituents.
This riding's looking for new representation after Nate Erskine-Smith announced he was leaving. He'd planned to run for leadership of the Ontario Liberal Party, but changed course after losing a nomination race in a nearby riding this spring. A few other people have already said they'd like to carry the Liberal banner in Beaches, East York.
We are a unique jurisdiction in North America,
including the riding's former provincial representative, Arthur Potts. Claire Seaborn is running too. She's a lawyer and former chief of staff to 2 federal Liberal cabinet ministers. Prime Minister Mark Carney said in French last week he hasn't decided when to trigger by-elections, but says they'll likely be staggered. He could also opt to appoint candidates rather than allow nomination contests. There could be more political drama here in Beaches, East York. Nate Erskine-Smith is still considering a run for Toronto City Hall. His last day as an MP is Tuesday. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Wildlife advocates say the current heat wave is fueling a surge in rescue calls. Earlier this week, a bald eagle was found struggling in the Detroit River near Windsor. It was brought to rehabbers who say it will make a full recovery. But as Chris Campbell reports, not every wild animal can be so lucky.
Usually known for soaring high above the water, this bald eagle instead found itself struggling to survive after ending up soaked and exhausted along the Detroit River.
We received a call from some community members who had noticed a distressed bird that was in the river.
The bird was carefully guided towards shore before a Windsor-Essex County Humane Society animal protection officer safely secured it and transported it to Wings Rehabilitation Center.
It does not happen very often that we get a bald eagle, for sure. It is actually it was a bucket list moment.
Wildlife rehabilitators believe the eagle, estimated to be about 4.5 years old, likely became waterlogged while trying to catch a fish that proved to be too big.
He lost his weatherproofing, right? So he was
Usually the water will repel off the feathers, but he was completely saturated.
Now recovering in a flight cage, staff say the bird is gaining strength every day and could soon return to the wild.
He's doing well. I think he'll be ready to release as soon as the heat breaks.
The rescue comes during one of the busiest stretches of the summer for Wings Rehabilitation Center. The recent heat has brought a surge of calls involving young birds, rabbits, ducklings, and other wildlife struggling in the high temperatures.
Ducklings and rabbits and lots of birds. It's been the week of the swallows for some reason.
If you do come across wildlife in distress, experts say the best thing you can do is keep your distance, especially with large birds of prey, and contact wildlife professionals rather than trying to handle the animal yourself.
Keep in mind they are large predatory animals. They have very powerful talons, very powerful beaks. So hands off is always going to be the best thing, and leave it to the professionals.
Chris Campbell, CTV News.
Still ahead, counting down to kickoff, we catch up with Canada in Houston as they prepare for the World Cup's round of 16. Strength in the technology sector helped Canada's main stock index move higher. The TSX gained 110 points. In New York, the Dow added 595. The Nasdaq lost 207. Canadian dollar up 0.15 cents today. On commodity markets, gold gained more than $43 an ounce. Oil is up 11 cents a barrel. There appears to be a deal tonight to move forward on an oil pipeline project between Alberta and British Columbia. It's been a source of friction between the two provinces until now. With more on today's developments and what brought BC on board, here's Mike Lecouture.
Alberta's pipeline is moving forward with the federal and provincial governments investing with the help of Crown Corporation Trans Mountain. Pembina Pipeline Corporation is also playing a significant role.
They give us the certainty that it is a financially viable project from a private sector perspective, and we give them the certainty that because we're partnering with them, that it's going to get built in a timely way.
Prime Minister Mark Carney pointed to the government-owned Trans Mountain Pipeline as an example of a project that does work.
TMX de-risked, up and running, now is very profitable, and it's returning real cash to Canadians that is supporting social programs, supporting other things.
Hours earlier, Carney and BC Premier David Eby unveiled a multi-billion-dollar deal between the two levels of government, which included maintaining the tanker ban off BC's northwest coast.
We have anxiety about the impact of any new pipeline project, period, on British Columbia's coast.
That anxiety was also being felt by First Nations communities in northern BC.
This has not been about blocking Alberta's access to oil markets. This is, and it always has been, about keeping this special place free from oil.
Now, any new pipeline could run parallel to the existing Trans Mountain line, which ends at the Port of Vancouver. And while the Conservative leader says the northern route means a shorter shipping time to Asia, Pierre Poilievre just wants a pipeline to be built.
Provide the permit, let the private sector build it, get out of the way and get it done.
BC will receive royalties for any pipeline across its territory, and a deal announced with the federal government today includes $3.5 billion in funds for the North Coast transmission line to get electricity to communities and projects in northern BC, plus $500 million to boost copper production out of the Red Chris mine. Now that the Alberta pipeline is being submitted to the Federal Major Projects Office, consultations with Indigenous communities along the route are expected to begin immediately. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Good evening. Hot and sticky conditions throughout the region today. We didn't break a record, but we came close to it, tying it at 34. That heat fueling the risk for severe thunderstorms, heavy rainfall, and heavy winds. I'll break it all down for you in just a few minutes.
Welcome back. On the desk with Lauren Stallone now, who's looking at the forecast for us. And obviously all week we've been talking about the heat, Lauren. Today, I didn't feel like spending much time outside, especially someone, if you don't like humidity, this is the worst.
Yeah, I usually like to go out for walks and things like that, but it's just suffocating. And bad news, unfortunately, it's going to be sticking around for a little bit longer. So we didn't break a record today, but we got pretty close to it. So that record, 34 degrees for the record high, that was set back in 1960. 66, and that was our record high today. Our low, 22 degrees. So those temperatures quite uncomfortable and really difficult if you're someone who likes to get outside and enjoy the nice weather. Overnight tonight, our temperatures dropping down. They're still ranging from around 20 to 25 degrees across the region. So Environment Canada issued a heat warning earlier, and that will last as those temperatures are still within the range. So it is still within the criteria of that heat warning. Now that could last overnight tonight into Friday and possibly through your weekend. So we're taking a look at the next 36 hours. Mainly cloudy conditions across the region tonight, but again, that heat can fuel a risk of thunderstorms, heavy rainfall, heavy winds, so that's something to keep in mind. You can see here that we have a bit of a low pressure system that's making its way through, some active weather tomorrow morning, and again, that could be heavier rainfall and some localized flooding, some thunderstorms, and even a risk of tornadoes. So important to keep that in mind if you're heading out tomorrow and again through to your weekend. Cloudy conditions, we'll see a bit of a break Friday before we see some active weather again start to make its way through across the region. So keep in mind those thunderstorms, that risk of thunderstorms, that risk of severe weather will continue. But if you're heading out tomorrow, the morning is the perfect time to do that. Mainly sunny conditions at around 8 a.m. Temperatures more comfortable, around average for this time of year. 26 degrees is just around average for where we should be. But then again, that storm risk returns. We'll see those temperatures start to heat up to that uncomfortable, suffocating temperatures that we spoke about, and that risk of severe weathers continues throughout the day. So taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we'll see some active weather Friday into your weekend. That risk of thunderstorms, that risk of tornadoes, heavy rainfall will continue tomorrow, possibly through to the weekend, because of that heat and because of that humid air and those humid temperatures. We'll see some showers on Sunday before temperatures start to come back up, or back down rather, to around average for this time of year, and a mix of sun and cloud throughout your week next week. Same goes for Midwest. We'll see that active weather, that risk of severe weather and thunderstorms tomorrow into your weekend when temperatures start to become a little bit more comfortable. So if you are someone who likes to play sports outside or go for walks, next week looks like it's going to be a little bit more comfortable to do so. Carlyle?
Thank you, Lauren. Yesterday's storms hit eastern Ontario particularly hard, washing out Canada Day celebrations on Parliament Hill and leaving thousands without power. With more on the impact there, here's Abigail Beeman.
And you made it 21 floors.
Yeah. I keep myself in shape. I do whole walking with my legs, and I lift weights.
Teresa McCluskey made it down 21 flights with the help of her sons, while paramedics carried Beverly Johnson down from the 6th.
They're just heroes, you know. You have no idea what you use electricity for until you don't have it. And It was hot.
Residents of this high-rise describe a scary situation when the transformer blew.
Rain was everywhere, like hitting our windows like crazy. It must have been hail too, because I heard the chunks. And then one big blast, and I'm telling you, smoke covered the air for about 20 minutes, and it looked like the whole main floor was on fire. And then we looked down, the water was just coming up.
Water went right up to the ceiling in the basement.
No word on when the power may be restored.
I didn't sleep, but because I was stressed. It's a matter of insurance, right?
Have they been responsive, Mike?
I couldn't get a hold of them.
We believe this was one of the worst flooding events in our city in the last 25 years.
Ottawa's mayor says there were 1,900 calls for flooded basements alone from right across the city, and crews have to be careful.
The basement flooding caused by this event has created dangerous conditions, and it's preventing hydro from re-energizing many homes at this time.
Dehumidifiers and fans flying off the shelves.
We put some sandbags down, tried to block it, then came inside and there's like 4 inches of water already there. It just backed up from the sewer, yeah.
With 118 millimeters falling in Ottawa and extremely hot temperatures hitting the wider region.
Really, the focus of the heat is mostly in southern Ontario, southern Quebec,
and the Maritimes.
For most of the eastern part of our country, where temperatures are higher than 30 degrees, they're not expected to dip below 30 until Saturday. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, we're 2 days out from Canada's next historic World Cup match. They'll be underdogs against Morocco on Saturday. But as Andrew Johnson reports, that hasn't shaken their belief.
In the Houston Heat, Canada's head coach is keeping practice light ahead of an historic match against one of soccer's modern giants.
We want to make the most of this opportunity. Maybe from the outside, people are writing us off or saying that we're the underdog, but we don't look into that at all. Like, we want to go into every game trying to win.
They're hoping to create more moments like this when a late Stephen Eustachio goal against South Africa in Los Angeles launched the team and the country into their first World Cup round of 16.
To kind of give the country that moment and unite the country like we did with that goal was special for us, and I think it pushes us even more to try to give them more moments like that.
Standing in the way of Canada's dream run are the 2022 World Cup semi-finalists. The Moroccans are heavy favorites, superior at almost every position. Canada will need to perform at a level greater than the sum of its parts.
We're very group orientated, and knowing that we have a guy always behind you to help, we're going to need to be together against this team.
The match Canada would have played at home in Vancouver with a better result against the Swiss last week is tonight at BC Place. Switzerland meets Algeria in the round of 32. The Algerians are the underdogs, but their fans have already come out in force. Swiss fans in Vancouver may just be happy they're not back home, where the European heatwave has forced yodelers to perform in fountains. The winner of tonight's match will play in the final game here on the West Coast next week before the World Cup's conclusion in the United States. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
And Switzerland are up 1-0 right now. You can watch that game on TSN. That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.